Aloha mai kako, everyone. Welcome back to 2024 and the neighborhood board. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we did recess in January, and thank you for being here and for caring about your community and taking the time to be here. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you.
May we have the report from the Honolulu Fire Department?
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Captain Wassman from Engine 23. And I guess we can go over December 2023. We had one nuisance fire, 3 activated alarms, with no fire. We had 32 medicals, 1 motor vehicle collision with a pedestrian, 3 motor vehicle crashes, 1 mountain rescue, and 1 hazardous materials incident. The tip of last month was lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries supply power to many kinds of devices, including smartphones, laptops, e-scooters, and e-bikes, e-cigarettes, smoke alarms, toys, and even cars. If not used correctly or if damaged, these batteries can catch on fire or explode. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions. Only use the battery and charging cord designed for the device. Replace parts that are damaged, frayed, or sticky to the touch. Charge devices in a cool area with good ventilation. Do not keep charging the device or device battery after it's fully charged. E-scooters and e-bikes should only be charged outdoors. Smaller devices should be placed on a hard, non-flammable surface where charging, never under your pillow, on your bed, or on a couch. And store batteries away from anything that can catch fire. As for January 2024, we had 5 activated alarms with no fires, 41 medical calls, 5 motor vehicle crashes, 2 mountain rescues. And the fire safety tip for this month is don't stall, call 911. Call 911 right away when there's an emergency. Once the operator is on the line, speak clearly and provide an accurate description of the type of emergency and the location. Remain calm. The operator may ask you for additional information or provide instructions. If you find yourself in a spot where you do not have good reception for voice communication, such as an elevator or while hiking, you can text your emergency to 911. If you don't know the passcode to unlock a cell phone, you can push the emergency button to unlock it and call 911.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can you please repeat your name, sir?
Captain Clifford Wassman.
Wassman.
W-A-S-S-M-A-N.
Thank you very much for your report. Do we have any questions for Captain Wassman? Any questions for the Honolulu Fire Department? Hey, welcome back to our neighborhood board. Thank you for presenting to us tonight, and thank you for taking care of all of us during the holidays. We are very grateful to be in a community where we have such excellent firefighters. Do we have a question? Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we might have had a question.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the community support.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Next, may we have the report from the Honolulu Police Department?
Good evening, Lieutenant Thompson from District 7. For the stats of January, we have 1 motor vehicle theft this month, 3 burglaries, 6 thefts, and 8 unauthorized entry into motor vehicles. Total calls for service for the month is 6,719. Safety tip for the month is having to do with scams. There's a lot of variety of scams. A lot of it have to do with the internet. If you have older family members who are not familiar, please talk to them. A lot of these scams are unsolicited. There's like lottery, sweepstakes scams, which will often ask for money in advance to have, they'll use excuse like this for taxes or lawyers' fees to pay out the winnings. And they often ask for these monies in gift cards. So that should be a big tip. And that the scams are unsolicited. Another scam that's very common now are warrant scams, where you get a call and they'll say there's a warrant out for your arrest, and they'll again ask for gift cards to be sent. So if you have a suspicion, please call 911, and can better help distinguish what the scam is. But more information can be found on the HonoluluPD.org website. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much, sir. Do we have any questions from the community for the Honolulu Police Department?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed a couple of scans.
Can you please state your name?
Tim Stanton.
Can you hear?
Hello? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, myself and a group of people who I've been involved with for years, we used to own a computer company. We keep in touch, and there's been an increase in spams from an area 400 number, and it represents firemen's union, police union, and they need our help to support various funds. And it's not true at all. And they
Yes.
ask you to donate money to this particular website. I think it's actually atrocious that they should be using and piggybacking on two of the most upfront groups of people in our society. And I think it's absolutely disgraceful and disgusting. And it's been on the increase since about Christmas. I didn't know if you were aware of these using your good name for the firemen and the police.
Yeah, that's another common scam, and they come in cycles where it'll come and then it'll be another type of scam, the lottery, the warrant scam. There's a Hawaiian Electric scam, and yeah, they come in waves. You just got to be aware of anything they ask for over the phone. If you Google the number, a lot of times if you Google the numbers, it'll show up as a scam. Or just call the people themselves and ask if there's another way that you can donate. Call the fire department straight, or the police department. We usually don't, we don't request that kind of thing, so it's more than likely it's a scam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for Honolulu Police Department or Honolulu Fire Department? Okay, we don't have any more questions. We thank you very much for your excellent service and for your report this evening.
Thank you.
Next, may we have the report from the Board of Water Supply?
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Sugimoto from the Board of Water Supply. I can share my screen real fast. Okay, so this is the monthly report for February. There were no main breaks to report. This month's general water announcements. It's a $100 toilet rebate. So the Board of Water Supply is providing its customers with a big offer of a $100 rebate on WaterSense labeled toilets, 1.28 gallons per flush or less. This is more than double the usual rebate amount and is only offered for a limited 90-day period through April 18th. The special rebate's limited to 4 per household and 10 for commercial customers. For more information, you can go to our website at www.boardofwatersupply.com/rebates. And that's the end of my report. Does anyone have any questions or comments for BWS?
Yes, we have a question from. Kalani.
Yeah, my question is,
State your name.
I'm Kalani Sonora Palit. I have 2 questions. Are the rate hikes gonna start this month for our water bills? Number 2, I know that your finalized watershed management plan came out. I want to know if how much of Waiupe, there's a way you could, I'm trying to look at this map that was on your website. it's too small, but I kind of wanted to see what areas are included in Wailupe. Is there a way you could kind of, with the street names on it, so that, because I want to know if the Pu'uhonua o Wailupe is included in the watershed. Thank you.
We know we're gonna, get a presentation, on the East Honolulu Watershed Management Plan today by Abby Sykes. Is Abby gonna cover that in more detail?
I believe she can. She'd be able to answer that more.
That would be helpful. Thank you. The maps are hard to read on the
Yeah.
website. I cannot see the street names. But yeah, and then if you could just, the rate hikes, are they starting this month? And how much, what percent?
Yes, I believe it should have started. Yeah, like so this month. It's gonna go into effect. For like the first phase, and then it won't go up again till next year, or sorry, the next fiscal year, I believe, July 1st, 2024. For the percentage for the rate hikes, I'm not sure what that is on top of my head. I need to look back at how much it is for this first rate increase, but I can get back to you on that at next month's board meeting.
Thank you.
I think we have another question. Yes, go ahead.
Can I just speak from here, or do I need to get close?
What do you think?
Hi, Christopher. Not sure if you're familiar with Halava Valley or Xeriscape Garden or the Halava Shaft, but when I was in college, we went on a couple tours of their garden, and in later years, through the Nurserymen's Association and other groups, I got to visit the garden. And a couple of days ago, I was asked to go up and take a look at it. I guess they need sprinklers and a little bit of work, but I was wondering if at one time there was a group called Friends of Halava Garden, but I think the garden needs to invite the friends back, because it went from, let's say, a show place where one could see xeriscape or low water plants, drip systems, to kind of a jungle, I suspect, during the winter because it's raining, and a kind of disaster in the summer when everything dries out. But and I have your email, I'll reach out to you, but if you could, I think it was a nonprofit or a community group that just helped to complement water supplies paid employees, but I think we need to get them back there to help. Okay? Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, so I believe that that group is still around. We had a couple projects in our capital improvement program budget to do some renovations at that site, but those ones were put on hold because of the whole Red Hill situation, and we needed funding to fund like new source projects. But I know that group is still around, but I know there's a lot of maintenance that we need to do at that site. And we're not sure yet what we're gonna do with the Halava shaft as of now. As I said, we don't want to, I know the manager wants like kind of put everything on hold until a decision is made, but yeah, if you can shoot me an email, and if you have more questions, I can send a follow-up email for that.
And thank you so much for including your contact information. Many people don't, so I will reach out to you. But I was pretty excited. There's a lot of potential there. Beautiful area, even if the shaft is not open, although that's a spectacular, anyway, it's nice, I guess, experience to go down in the shaft. My wife and daughter and I did, and I'm hoping it'll open up again. But the park itself, the big lawn area and the trees, nice place for picnics, and if the xeriscape garden can be put together, again, a nice educational area. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Chris, Board of Water Supply? Thank you very much, Chris, for being with us tonight and for the information that you provided.
Yeah, no problem. Mahalo, everyone.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you again next month. Try to stay dry this week. See you, Chris. We'll now proceed to board business. First is vacancies. Hate to harp on this, but we need our board members in order to get business done. And And you, the community, are represented by your board members. So we need some representatives from sub-districts 1 and 2, which is Wailaiki. If you know anyone from those areas, or if you would like to represent those areas, please come to the meeting or sign into the meeting and let yourself be known. Also, we need a representative from the Wailupe Peninsula. We have, as long as I've been a chair, we have not had a representative from that area. So please, if you would like to become involved in your local political movements and represent your community and learn about how the legislature works, think of joining us, and we will welcome you.
Is that area fine?
Huh?
Sorry, I'm too far.
You
Yeah,
can
go ahead.
raise your hand and be recognized by the chair.
Sorry.
Please, Kalani.
Oh,
Had her hand.
oh, okay.
I have a question. So is there any way that we could change positions to be at larges? Or is there, like, can we do that? Because I know
That has been
people
discussed.
that are interested in joining, but they don't live on, like, Wailupe Peninsula and things like that. So is there ways?
Lloydell, would you like to explain the advantages and disadvantages? The advantages are having more board members that represent a large portion of the, I mean, that represent the area as a whole, but the disadvantage is for those areas that haven't had representatives, they don't have a chance, an equal chance to have a voice. And people who don't live in those communities may not be as keen to what is going on in their areas. Is that, can you, yeah, okay. So, okay,
So is that possible then?
it is.
Okay, so that, can we move forward with doing that? Because if you're seeing the Wailupe Peninsula never, it's been a vacant position,
Mm-hmm.
then we should try to get as many, but that seat is being counted and it's hindering business, you know? So they had the opportunity, this is how I perceive it. They had the opportunity to run, so their window has come and gone to participate. And then now we should allow others to jump on that are also part of this community. Because if we cannot get business done, then it's gonna be difficult for.
You can add that to the next agenda
Yes.
as board business.
Yes. Thank you, Hilani, for your suggestion. Who came first?
He did.
Okay, the chair recognizes Tim
I
Stanton.
I can't agree with that completely. because
Okay.
We don't know the people in Wailupe Circle. Do they know? Do
They
they-
probably don't even live here, they're so rich.
Oh, so it's an economically got nothing to do with.
No, they're people.
So we don't know if those people are in, we don't know if those people are being informed. That group of people who live there, they're on the other side of the highway. That they get contacted somehow. And see if we can chivvy up an authentic person from that area. Whether they're rich or not has got nothing to do with it.
Well, I'm not saying it's because they're rich, I'm sharing an observation.
Well, I'm taking it as such.
Okay, well, then let me rescind that and say, I mean, my first thing was, they are not here. Nobody gave me a personal invitation, but I'm here. So this is not about, this is about class in a way, but it's not because, I'm not bringing it up because they're rich, but I'm just saying that that we cannot do business.
But then.
They
with
are
respect-
hindering the community's ability to do business. by keeping a seat and not showing up and not even, how many years has it been since we've had someone in that seat? I mean, literally, my uncle here is a kuna, and no one gave him a personal invitation, but he came on his own.
And with respect, keep richness out of discussion, please. I
Why?
think that's unfair. This is.
Sorry, you don't get to censor what I have. to say. You don't get to censor what I have. to say.
I can make
No,
comments,
you may not.
I can make comments the same as you.
Okay, let us,
Diverted.
reminder that comments will be, addressed to the chair and we will allow, people to give comments equally, but please
Yeah.
don't speak to each other.
Exactly, thank you.
Yes,
How many seats are available for one?
for Wailupe?
Yes.
Yes,
Because it's small.
yeah.
Okay. I am trying to find someone from, knocking on doors, trying to find somebody younger to participate. I think that could get a good start.
Thank you, Bill. Let me, recognize Sherry Spangler because she's had her hand up for a while. Sherry, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi.
Sherry.
Hi. My experience with at-large seats started with the Wailai Kahala Neighborhood Board. We used to go to the meetings there, and whenever there was a big hot issue, it was the at-large seats that were always the problem votes. They would either abstain or their concerns were not at all with what the issue was at hand in that particular, like Nahona Kahala, when they were trying to get different entrance points over there on the mountainside, the Mauka side of Wailai Avenue. So that's where I first became interested in this concept of at-large seats versus people who represented a district. And then when you think about it, if we had all at-large seats or too many of them, we might have people living up the highway, or like people in Hawaii Kai who said, we don't want people exiting Aina Haina to be able to turn left to go out to Hawaii Kai, because that's an extra time lag on the streetlight cycle, and that slows us down. But Aina Haina had said, we want to be able to exit from the streets there and go to Hawaii Kai. And we were told during the highway widening process, no, you can't have that left-hand turn to go to Hawaii Kai out of Aina Haina at either of East or West Hine Drive, because it creates a stop in the flow of traffic for the people living out in Hawaii Kai and, Niu Valley and that area. So people like that, like Aina Haina, lose their representation for what they feel is important to them if it's an at-large seat, because the at-larges, they may not necessarily have the concerns that the people in that sub-district have. Just like Wailupe, when they wanted to run all the traffic through Wailupe in a jug handle and have them all go into Wailupe and cross the highway to get into Aina Haina. And that was how they were going to solve the traffic problem for the traffic flow for the building they were doing in Hawaii Kai, was to flood Wailupe with all those cars. They got it stopped. But I'm just saying, it's a concept that I discovered first in Wailai Kahala. It made me start to wonder about our board and what the problems would arise if there were at-large seats versus seats that come from sub-district. We just need to make more of an effort to outreach and talk to people, because that's how it's always worked, outreaching. But thank you for letting me say it.
There's a comment from Ann Sato saying that has the Wailupe Community Association been approached? That's her question.
That's what I was reading up.
Yes.
Seems on one hand, they haven't been represented. On the other hand, do we know that they don't know? Is there a way to contact various entities around it?
Okay, well,
I don't.
we need some points of contact, in Wailupe and to find out if they have a community association where we could bring up the question to and ask for a representative
I
from
don't mind
their area.
making
Pardon?
an effort. If somebody wants to guide me, I don't mind making an effort to try and contact
Thank you.
I'll try.
So I see some other
Shelley.
questions. Shelley?
Answer to the question.
Huh?
Your hand is raised.
Yes, Shelley?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to comment that I don't think we should rule bringing anyone in because they would disagree with it. I just wanted to voice my concern that the neighborhood board is a conversation. It's not intended to be a consensus. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, Shelley.
Yeah, got Vinny.
Janine? Hi, Janine.
I just would like to say that, when we went through COVID, we really had a hard time getting business done. So the commission did grant us, lesser seats, but now that we're back to 5 vacancies, it's going to be difficult again. And we had toyed with the idea of getting, at-large seats, especially since, really, do we need 5 people from Ainahaya? I don't know. I mean, it just seems like that's a lot of people for one area, which is kind of like, Neo needing 3. I don't think we need 3, but we're stuck with the amount of representatives that the commission gave us when they first made us. And I think it would be nice to have a few. We don't have to have a lot, but we can have certainly, one from Ainahina, one from maybe Niu, and then maybe the one from Wailupe that's not coming and hasn't come for years. So, I think, or even Wailaiki. I don't think we had somebody from Wailaiki since, what was his name? He came every week.
Steve left.
And he was so nice. Yeah. But I mean, we don't get people, anymore. So it would be nice to have a board and be able to get business done quickly instead of having to, wait all the time because we don't have enough members. And so I think if we just put the resolution together, we can vote on it. We don't have to debate it tonight.
Yes.
So thank you, Kalani.
Well, everyone keep your thoughts, write down your thoughts about pros and cons of having at-large positions for our next meeting, because it'll come up again. So, yes, Bill.
Are we allowed to do a flyer for Wailupe Circle? And would we be able to put it in their mailbox if we are allowed to do that? Or just to make them aware that we have an opening, and they may not be aware, to be quite honest. But I'm not sure if we're allowed to put it in their mailbox and then have them contact you.
Yeah, okay.
If we're allowed to do it, I would be
You can't
more than welcome.
You can't put mail in people's mailbox. It's illegal.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But the neighborhood board can send mail.
I'd be willing to pass it on.
Unless, if they're not on our mailing list, we don't send.
Yes, suggestion.
Yeah, so for our discussion for next time too, and this is just ideas for if we're gonna do a reso for the next meeting. Is, in lieu of, we could do an at-large, but I think it would be, I don't know if this is even legal, but, can we say, if we can't get a Wailupe Peninsula person, then in lieu, can we get a Opio, can we get a youth? Or so that we are more of a balanced board, or I don't know, can we make it like a youth at large seat or something, or I don't know.
You have to be 18 to be a board member?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we could have.
Maybe we could, ask, all of our electeds to, in the area, if they would include a notice in their monthly newsletter.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Sherry Spangler's hand is raised.
Go ahead, Sherry.
Uh, Hi, historically, Wailupe always has had a community association. I think they have to by law because of restrictive covenants down there. So I know a couple of people that live there and I'll give them a call, see if they're interested or know of anybody who's interested, and that's all.
At least we make every effort, and then when you don't show up, then
Well, it would be great to attend one of their community association meetings. That's when, we're likely to see several, more than a significant number of residents.
If somebody give me the information, I pop down there willingly. The same with Wailaiki. I'm looking at these as 5 vacancies, right?
I think
Five.
it's 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you do have 12.
Okay.
What areas?
I'm ready.
Sub-district 1, 2,
Wailaiki,
Wailiki, and then 5,
Wailupe,
6. Can't remember where it's
is
6.
that Aina?
No.
That's Aina.
And then 7.
How many in Aina? One?
One of each.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Yeah.
Seven is new.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's worthy of an effort to try and reach out and contact those people. People reached out to me, which is why I'm here. I'm representing the same as all of us, a good chunk of our community. Just to, I think it's worth the effort.
Thank you.
Sharing.
Sherry,
Would people please speak up?
could you hear, Tim? Tim was
No.
saying that it's worth making the effort to reach out to the communities where we don't have representation from.
I absolutely agree. And also, I represent the top of Wailaiki. It's a sub-district 4. I represent the Wailai Golf Course, Kalani Iki, and the top of Wailaiki 5. It's like a,
I have to look that up, Sherry. My mental map doesn't go that high.
actually, it used to be, we used to have a map on our minutes, that came out, it would show what the,
The agenda.
yeah, if you look at the map on page 2,
Yeah.
you'll see sub-district 4 goes all the way up
Oh, yes.
to the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
As does every district there, except for the ones on the ocean.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, could you reach out to some of the people that are below you on that are lower down on the hill?
No, because well, I don't really know of anyone lower down on the hill that wasn't already on the board.
Okay.
But I will go to Wailupe and see if the families that I know there would be interested in putting themselves up or somebody else up. They should care.
Yeah. Okay, great. Go ahead, Kevin.
Years ago, the board sent out a flyer to people in the neighborhood. I had assumed that the flyer, which was a survey asking for input on speeding and crime and I think a few other issues, I thought it went to all of the people in the district, but it may just have gone to those that were on the neighborhood board's mailing list. But Lucas's comment about asking our representatives to include a little blurb in the newsletter they're sending out.
Okay.
That was a good idea.
Okay,
I
Ben.
don't mean this is a plug, but we have a lot of them from this district. and maybe spread the word that way. So we'll do that.
Well, thank you for your excellent suggestion. This has been a work in progress, and we do want everybody to be represented. So thank you. Go ahead.
Do we need a set number of people that they answer for certain items?
So Adele,
You do need,
Maybe we have to make it.
tonight you have 10.
How many are online?
You have
Sherry.
3,
Sherry, Shelley,
Thank
Janine.
you.
no, you have 4 actually.
Okay, so we will bring this up again at the next meeting. Let's go ahead to a simple one, the approval of the December 7th meeting minutes. So the minutes of the December 7th meeting have been distributed. Are there any corrections to the minutes that are significant? And we apologize, Tim, for your name being misspelled, and we will fix that the next time. If there are no corrections, are there any significant corrections to those minutes? Okay, thank you. If there are no corrections, the December 7 minutes are approved. So we will now go to the 3 absent letter, and is Tatiana on? Okay. When board members are absent for 3 or 4 neighborhood board meetings, number 1, their community doesn't get represented. We can't get business done. And so therefore, we ask people to be, who are on the board, to meetings, and if they don't come to 3 or more meetings, then the members who are present are able can decide whether to vacate or open up that seat for somebody else. How many absences did Tatiana Reeves have?
10.
Huh?
4.
Okay, so Tatiana was unable to attend 4 of the meetings, and we know she has oh, let's open up for her. I think that's our presenter. So,
Maybe.
there we go. Hi. Thank you for coming. So, Tatiana's in Subdistrict 8, Kuli'ou'ou. Is there a motion? Do we have a motion to declare the seat in Subdistrict 8 vacant so that we can fill it? Yes, we have a motion. Pardon?
I say.
No?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, did we talk to them?
Yes, yes, I have reached out to Tatiana. I've tried calling her. Last time she said she just got a new job that was in December as vice principal, and things were really busy for her. And then this past week I tried, I wanted her to just call me or to just let me know what she wanted to do. And she hasn't responded. And I know that,
We've sent the letter, certified letter as well.
so, do we have, yes, question?
I reached out to her to try to meet, and that she's my representative, and she was not able to do that. So I think she has a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a second for the motion to vacate the seat? So we will have open seats in Kuli'ou'ou.
Who moved?
Do we have a second? Oh, one?
Yeah.
Oh, Kuli'ou'ou, so good. So, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Janine.
I'm seconding.
Thank
Who
you.
moved it?
Um,
Oh,
Tim moved and Janine seconded. can we have a by voice vote? Or do we need one?
I can do a roll call if you want me to do a roll call, or if you can just,
We can do it by voice.
if you hear no objections from,
Okay. Are there any objections to vacating the seat in Kuli'ou'ou? Hearing no objections, the seat is vacated. Okay, thank you. I'd like to bring up the Citizen Advisory Committee, which falls under the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization. The Citizen Advisory Committee provides input into the Transportation Improvement Program and addresses things like traffic congestion, access for the disabled, and safety. Every neighborhood board has a representative, well, not every, but most neighborhood boards have a representative on the Citizen Advisory Committee. Linda Starr used to, she represented our board before she retired. And it would be good to have another representative for this board. Is there a board member who is willing to serve on the Citizen Advisory Committee? Just a minute, we're fixing something on the computer.
it's choppy.
Oh, okay. Is there a board member, a current board member who's willing to serve on the Citizen Advisory Committee? Okay, well, think about it. Sherry, I think this would be the perfect thing for you because you stood up for problems with transportation and you know what's going on with the freeway and making sure neighborhoods don't get forgotten and are, you know, that people are able to get out of where they live. And I don't know, what do you think of serving on the Citizen Advisory Committee?
Just to refresh everyone's memory, if anyone cares, I served on OMPO with Linda Starr for many years, many years, along with Linda Starr. And we attended, I attended most of the meetings for years. And I got tired because it was for as many years as I did it, it got to be a big job because what we did, we started a very large ad hoc committee when they were doing the widening of the highway. And it took 5 years, that process from Hawaii Kai into Ainahaina. And I helped get that started because they were going to resurface the road, but they didn't realize that Board of Water Supply was going to go in after they resurfaced the road and dig it up and put in water, you know. So I went and I made suggestions to elected officials that maybe we should get together all the elected officials from Senate, House, City Council, you know, Board of Water Supply, all the agencies, you know, Department of Transportation Services, HECO, all of them, and say, in gas company, let's get together and do this in the proper sequence. So I went to all those meetings for 5 years. So I got a bit tired out. And what I'll do is I'll consider it, but I think someone else should look at it. If we have another highway widening project, maybe I'll get back on. But
Okay.
it's an important job.
Yeah, Shelley's asking when does it meet?
Shelley, I can send you more information on it.
Okay, thank you.
And Sherry, I didn't realize you were on the CAC, and thank you for all the work that you did.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, I don't have any announcements at this point, so let's go ahead to public input for items not on the agenda. Steve, Steve Lipscomb would like to make an announcement. Go ahead, Steve.
Thanks, Chair. Good to see a lot of familiar names and familiar voices out there. Would it be okay if I share my screen?
Of course.
Okay, let's see if that comes up. Okay, can you guys see that okay?
No, we
Yeah.
see nothing. Nothing's there. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it came up. Looks good.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So for those that don't know me, I'm Steve Lipscomb. I am the Honolulu County Chair for the Hawaii Republican Party, and I wanted to provide a presidential caucus update this evening. What is a presidential caucus? Everybody asks that, and if you think of it in terms of a primary, it's the same idea. And I understand all parties do this. So a caucus is just where the party members come together and they cast their ballots at the local level for who they want to be the presidential nominee. What happens after that is we sort all those ballots out, who got the percentages of the votes, and then we allocate that same vote percentage. So we're going to do this.
Choppy.
No, she's freezing.
Steve, you're freezing.
We cannot hear anything from her.
Can't hear you. We can see
Okay,
your
you guys can't hear me?
slides, though. Okay, now we can.
Okay.
We missed everything you said.
Okay, yeah, I was getting some chop. So again, we're doing the Republican Party Presidential Caucus on March 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. This is going to be a statewide effort. So all Republicans across the state will come together in 44 locations statewide, and we'll have 23 of those locations here on Oahu. If anyone is a Republican interested in volunteering, that duty area will be from 5 to 9 p.m. and I'll have a slide on how to do that. In order to vote, you have to be a member of the Republican Party of Hawaii. You can sign up that evening. Everybody will complete a membership card before they vote. And then also you have to make sure that you're registered to vote with the state of Hawaii. So, normal gotchas are, hey, I just got married, my last name changed, or I just moved and my address changed. So I'm encouraging everyone to check their voter registration, regardless of your party, as we come into the primary season. So we'll have, again, 23 locations across the island. The ones probably most pertinent to the folks on this call is if you live in District 18, House District 18, we'll poll at Kaiser High School. And if you're in Districts 19 or 20, we will poll at Kalani High School. Where do I go to stay up to date? You can get more information at the Hawaii Republican Party website, which is the hawaiirepublicanparty.com. And then you see the presidential caucus drop-down menu there below. And you can also use that caucus drop-down to sign up to volunteer. If you have any questions, here's my contact information. So again, Steve Lipscomb. I'm at 227-2459. And I'm also on email at steve.lipscomb@outlook.com. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Steve? I just have a comment for you on that first slide with your name. It gives today's date rather than the date of the caucus, so you might just want to change that.
Yeah, good call. That's the date of the presentation, but I will look at that. Thanks, Chair. I appreciate the input.
Okay.
So again, it's on March 12th, just to remove any confusion, but thank you for that.
All right, take care, Steve.
Okay, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for doing what you guys do.
Take care. Okay.
Any other?
Yes.
Any other?
Any other questions or comments?
Is this the public portion?
Yeah.
This is the public portion. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. So, Does anyone have a concern that is not on the agenda? Yes, please go ahead. I don't see your name. Please introduce yourself.
Mia Lisa.
Oh, Mia Lisa?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, go ahead, Mia Lisa.
Hi. I just wanted to give can you hear me okay?
You're a little muffled. Try to speak clearly.
Phone. How about now?
Good.
Okay. No, I can't hear you, but it's okay. I'm Mia Lisa. I'm with Pu'uhonua Oailupe. I just wanted to give a quick update that we're really on the brink of finishing the IS.
The process for Clean Water Natural Land Fund to hopefully okay close there my face. Hopefully we'll be able to get acquisition really soon. But we really wanted to kind of outlook.
Mia.
Say it again. We can't hear you. You're garbled.
A lot of artifacts.
It's their audio, not ours.
We remember a lot of donors. So we're looking for a space to keep all those items and educational.
Like to.
We can't hear you.
Oh. I'm not sure why it's not working. Hold on.
There we
That's
go.
much better.
You want to repeat that the last 2 minutes?
Get your mouth close to the microphone and speak slowly, please.
Can you hear me okay?
The way you were before was better.
Okay. Let's see.
Right there. Yeah. No, yeah. Right there. Like right. I think when you put your face right there. Yeah. Right there. Good. Maybe not.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. So we're looking for a place to keep items that we're going to be reinterning, such as documents and artifacts. We're getting a ton of it from community members and universities. So we really need a space to keep these precious items. And we want it to be educational, especially for the youth, just some place that we can keep it safe. We can store it, but we'll bring it out occasionally to show the community and, you know, really teach the students about the history of Wailupe. So if anyone out there has a space for us available, like a classroom, something that we could use maybe once a month, I'd appreciate it. Maybe Kalani can update a little bit more if you can't hear me well. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, so we are in the process of repatriating artifacts. I don't know how this is happening, but it's coming from all over. And some of the artifacts are from East Oahu, old photographs, old books, BBVAs, things like that. So we are gonna start off. We're actually gonna have it in possession soon. We're looking to create like a living curriculum with like a living library kind of thing with the artifacts. So to educate the community, I did meet with the city and county of Pu'uhonua or Wailupe, did meet with the city and county to see if there was any space in or around Wailupe. And there is no permanent space, but there's space. They said we could apply for a space to hold our workshops, which is okay for now. But we are looking for more permanency, because I don't want to be moving artifacts like all over the place, you know, for that purpose of educating the community. Thank you.
Would
Yes, Bill.
Wailupe School have any space? I know it's closed, but that's a great resource if they would give you the space.
The old library.
Yeah, so we did ask for space there and it was, it's basically all being used because they have all these programs going there for, the community as well. So we are, but they offered us, you know, the space to teach there, which is good. So we'll start off there, I think. And then, you know, keep our eyes open for other places that we could, start off. But yeah, we are bringing in the collection and we're hoping to share it with the community, especially with the kids.
What kind of security would you need?
We're not taking really like, I mean, I'm not taking any leaning or Kuli'ou'ous, you know, that's not on the table, but it's more ornate things, pictures, books, that we wanna share with the community, that build some kind of cultural connection between the youth and the area of Guadalupe, which is a very storied area. It's a beautiful place.
Would an empty classroom be a sufficient space? Or
Yeah, that would work perfect for that. So,
do you think they would have something?
yeah, they have other programs there, so it would be rotating in and out. So that's where we're at now. But, you know, if anybody hears of anything, that we could use for this purpose, we're looking. I'm hoping to get it running by the summer, like an educational program. So I'm a curriculum developer, so I've been working with an archivist and stuff, getting all of these items.
Have you tried contacting Chris Kramer, who's the keeper of artifacts?
Yeah, he's our advisor for Kuli'ou'ou, Guadalupe.
Okay. All right. Sherry Spangler. Hi, do you have an item of interest for the community?
Only if Kalani is through speaking. I was just trying to, you know, be in line. Is Kalani through?
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. The Honolulu Marathon was supposed to be on the agenda, but it wasn't. So do you mind if I give a few funny little notes about what happened at the Honolulu Marathon to the people trying to get out of the neighborhood?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, first of all, Stephanie went out. She and the neighbors who are new to the neighborhood, they were all happy, and so they all went out together to look. And as the day went on, finally we got to 12:30 and they still weren't releasing cars. And I don't know if they staggered the race to have people start later, which made more people running and or walking, but the police wouldn't release the cars. And as I've said, I have no personal beef with this because I just stay in the house and close the windows. But when Steph was out there with the neighbors, other neighbors in their cars got out of the cars, came to Stephanie and said, "What's going on? Help us, help us." So Stephanie was talking to the officer, and he stated that, you know, John Nucci from DOT, Department of Transportation, excuse me, not DOT, DTS, Department of Transportation Services, suggested that we call 911. But the officer who was there guiding and guarding this site, they are off duty. They're not on-duty policemen. They're hired as off-duty special events officers. And he stated only a race coordinator with the Honolulu Marathon could give authorization to release the cars. He couldn't. So we called Steph called 911 as told to. They said they had nothing. The police officer said, call 911 too. So they called them. They said they had nothing to do with the marathon. It's totally under the jurisdiction of the marathon organization. So calling 911 was a useless thing. And it's all per the permits, whatever the permits say. And the people who hold the permits are in complete control. The officer who was on site, he said he knew nothing about the orange sign, which told him that they were to hold the cars until there was a break in the traffic and then to let the cars and hold the runners just for a second and, escort a car across the highway. He said he knew nothing about that.
I showed him the picture.
And Stephanie showed him the picture. He wouldn't even walk over to look at the sign.
Nothing.
I was in the house looking out the window, looking at him. It was like a kabuki drama because he was waving his hands, he'd go up to cars before he even talked to them, waving his hands, no, no, no. And they're going, what? And I could hear them because I'm right there. And he's going, no, you can't leave. So then he gave her a phone number to call, and it was a non-working telephone number. And there was, so there was no coordinator, there was no one to call, there was no one to talk to. The officer we were dealing with, I think he was Irish because he had a wee bit of an accent.
We won't go there.
I guess he won't go there. He didn't seem very vested at all in what was happening and what his duties were. He was just standing there. And I think his only duty was to keep people from exiting. So we had other ideas of what to do about it, but I was hoping we could get someone to come to our meeting and talk to us as a board and tell us, what's going on. Because when people have medical emergencies, it's frightening to think that they're going to hold us hostage inside the community. And I don't know what's going on at Wailupe or Kalani, which is also a pocket community, and out at Niuiki. Anyway, I don't know what's happening down there. But the fact is they wouldn't let anyone out.
What a mess. So we have John with us. Shall we let him try to save himself and the mayor?
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait
Well,
to hear.
Everybody had a different story, so thank you. So John, what can we do?
John, you're on. John Nochi, the mayor's representative.
Chair, do you want me to address this and then go on my report, or do you want me to just address this issue right now?
Go ahead and, well, since we're on it, go ahead.
Okay. Regarding that, do you know which officer you spoke to? I know you described him, but
Yes,
did you get a name of the officer?
His badge was covered with his vest.
Yeah, he wouldn't show it.
And he wouldn't show it. Oh, that's why I told you he had an Irish brogue and he had red hair. Can't be many of those.
We can go through assignments and see who that was. Was the sign posted properly though? The one that you requested?
Yeah.
We have pictures of everything.
We have pictures
of everything.
So he wouldn't walk over and look at it.
So I did some digging, in anticipation of this, and I did notice something a little bit interesting. And I'm not trying to gaslight anybody or anything, but I did notice one of the requirements for the permit is that the Honolulu Marathon has to attend all the impacted neighborhood boards. But I did notice that they did not attend in person this neighborhood board. So moving forward, I am going to require them to attend in person all impacted neighborhood boards. I mean, I think that's a nod. I think I'd like to extend that. I mean, that's my privilege as DTS deputy, is we issue the certain things related to street usage. And I think that is more than a courtesy. I think it's a necessity that they need to address your neighborhood board, and not just your neighborhood board, but we are going to make an in-person requirement for all impacted neighborhood boards for the Honolulu Marathon.
That's what needs to change.
Thank you.
Could I just make a question, Chair?
Yes, please go ahead.
Could we get a copy of the permit for the Honolulu Marathon to see what the restrictions or guidance points were? And if they come to our neighborhood board, they have to come enough in advance, because if they come in December, they're going to come, a few days before they're planning this way in advance. So we need to have them come in advance too. And someone, not just someone who's like PR, but someone who can have the ability to make decisions that hold water. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise they'll say, well, that's not my purview.
Not good enough to send somebody.
Yeah, they have to send, what's that guy's name? The guy.
Jim Bartel.
Jim Bart.
Oh, he was worthless too.
Well, anyway, someone who can make a decision that has power behind it.
May I ask?
But
Thank
I
you,
really,
Jerry and Stephanie, for being on top of this and for observing what was going on.
it
So,
actually got very funny.
no, it's not funny. It's terrible.
Okay.
Okay, John, please proceed with your report.
Sure. Thank you, Chair. Just wanted to touch on a couple highlights from the mayor's newsletter, which can be found online at www.oneoahu.org/newsletter. There's a variety of stories in there about how bright yellow rescue tubes are making our beaches safer. Has a story honoring our first responders that jumped into action during an emergency at the January City Council hearing. Talking a little bit about Kahuku community and how they met to discuss a new swimming pool and recreation center. The new hula show at the Waikiki Shell, and a new sculpture unveiled at Honolulu's Inha Park in Paua'a. I just want to close out one more issue here, and it was related to the trash pickup at the three properties at 5839, 5841, and 5975 Kalani Ole Highway. I have a report back from ENV. The property at 5975 Kalani Ole is owned by a nonprofit and has a caretaker residence on the property. This property has assigned refuse carts, and ENV has been providing refuse collection since 2014, and that will continue. The other two properties of 5839 and 5841 Kalani Ole is owned by the state. The city does not provide refuse collection to those state-owned or vacant properties. And if any further action is required on this, I guess the DLNR should be contacted. And I can help with that if necessary.
Yes, she was, okay. Janine, please go ahead.
Thank you, John, but that's exactly what I said before. You really didn't have to go look for all that. Years ago, I asked the city for bins for those two properties and was told because it's owned by the state, we don't get one. And so I told you that, but you wanted to go check. And 5975, yes, is owned by the Fish Pond nonprofit. We didn't ask for that one. We have bins for that one. So I'm sorry to make you have gone through all that, but
Oh, no,
I did. That's what I did say.
No, apologies. Chair, can I address that?
Yes.
That was written up in the summary for the neighborhood boards. I didn't personally go after that. So, Janine, you didn't put me out at all, but I just wanted to report it back because it's in my report. So I did hear you the last time too. But if you would want me to pursue talking to DLNR about that, I can also do that too.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead, Kawi.
Well,
Lucas has a question for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Janine, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, no. We appreciate any help. In fact, we thought Kevin, that was very sweet of Kevin to ask for bins for us. But we have been seeing the DLNR quite frequently. That is not something that they provide us. And so we just have to make extra dump runs, and sometimes the trash does pile up until we can get it taken care of. But we've been dealing with this for the last 10 years, and we can keep dealing with it. But thank you so much for your help.
Understand.
You have a comment from Kawi Lucas?
Yeah, well, I think, John, that anything that you can do to make that happen would be greatly appreciated. And even if we have been working on it, we haven't really solved it because months will go by when stuff accumulates, and that's not really what we want. So anything you can do, John, please. I mean, this does seem doable. So please try.
Yes, Kevin Mulkern?
Yes, I think I was the thorn in the side, but as someone in the construction industry, I am actually one that kind of admired what Linda Lingle was trying to do, is get the state and the city to work together. So if one person was mowing half of a property and the other person was bringing trucks in to mow the other half, if they could somehow maybe just the state mow the whole lot and the city maybe down the road mow the whole lot there, just from an efficiency standpoint. And I see the garbage trucks driving by, and if we're concerned about traffic and global warming, it would just be so much more efficiency for them to make one more stop. And the hard work that the volunteers do is, and they should be thanked in a positive, constructive way. I did want to thank Chris Kramer for letting me pull out some of the bacopa from the pond. When we were there, we basically emptied the closet in the garage that was full of trash because he wasn't able to do that. So we took a truckload of trash away for him, and it just wanted to eliminate that extra burden that he and his volunteers had, along with the cost. So it'd be great if you could, John, if you could work with the state and be buddies. When I pay taxes, I don't differentiate really between the state and the city. My taxes are gone. It'd be nice if I got more value for them. So thank you. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, John. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
That's all I have tonight, Chair, and I apologize. I really did plan to come in tonight, but I got drenched on my walk and I'm reporting from home tonight.
All right. All right. Go ahead. We have a question from,
I asked John about the issues on Buller Street.
you mean, the overgrowth?
Yeah.
Is that more of a city council?
That's a city. No, that's a city, so we can actually do if it's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a me.
John, we have we have a request for you and for the city, for city council. Go ahead, Tim Stan.
Hi, John, this is Tim Stanton here. Since just before Christmas, I've been inundated. I live on Poola Street, Poola Street, and the Big Bend has grown with grass and rubbish, and it hasn't been cut according to neighbors since last June. So now it's got to the situation, a woman was walking her dog, the dog got loose and they couldn't find it for about 5 minutes and nearly ran out into the traffic. But it's horrendous on that bend. It is a hassle to get it cut. There's been a new house constructed on the bend, and there's a huge area that's usually mown. So I should go up that area. It's really terrible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John.
Chair, I didn't catch the street name. It's at the bend. At what was the street name?
Po'ola, Tim.
Oh, Po'ola Street. Okay.
Tonight, we're gonna have little lessons.
Yeah. Po'ola, I think it means stevedore.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Oh. All right, is there any more for John? Yes, Bill Kilcoyne.
Thank you. Are you in any way responsible for the maintenance of Wailupi Stream?
Chair, I can answer that. I'm here as a representing Mayor Rick Blangiardi. So yes, part of the responsibility for stream maintenance is with the Department of Facility Maintenance. So I can take any questions that you might have back to the department for response.
Well, a year ago in April, they came through, took out all the trees and the brush. However, it's back, and it's back with vengeance. They're not allowed to spray the stream anymore, and the stream is overgrown. And my concern is, come summertime, when it's dry, and hurricane season, that it becomes a severe fire hazard. There's hundreds of homes on Wailupi Stream, and with any kinds of wind and a fire, I'm concerned about the entire valley. And is there any plans to come again and chop down trees and the weeds? That's my question.
Chair, I can take this concern back to DFM.
Okay.
Appreciate that, thank you.
I'd like to recognize Kevin Mulkern regarding stream maintenance. He may have some suggestions.
Hi, John. When the city was cleaning the stream, I did talk to the crew, and I've got a little different information with regards to agricultural chemicals or herbicides. They were telling me that the halicoa, which is a large brush that grows in the stream, the stumps were going to be treated with a product called Garlon, which is something that's used in the industry on a regular basis. And so I was actually surprised they were doing that because it will reduce the labor quite a bit, and I believe it's registered for the use. But in looking at the halicoa, it doesn't appear that what they told me they were going to do and what they did were actually the same, because all the halicoa has grown back. From what I best understood is Councilman Waters was going to had come up with an agreement to have the stream cleaned twice a year, but I'm not sure how that's going. And last question, some of the other presenters had their emails. I think occasionally, could we have the emails of the representatives printed on the agenda in the future? Thank you, John. Appreciate your hard work.
Thank you, John. Well, okay, so we're gonna advance by 2 reports today, since Dave Day is under the weather and won't be able to attend to represent Governor Josh Green. So Adam, you want to go ahead? And I know you were just taking notes about the stream situation.
Yes.
If you could ask Chair Tommy Waters about that too, and see if he can give us some help on establishing how often the stream is going to be maintained.
Yes, most definitely. We'll follow up with that.
Can we have a sound check on you?
Yes, can you hear me okay online?
Janine, can you hear Adam? Okay.
So the council also passed a resolution as well, requiring DFM, Department of Facility Maintenance, to post their stream maintenance schedule online. So that is online. You can Google it. You can see the history of where they've been and where they will be going, I believe, approximately 6 months in advance. But certainly I can get the, I believe, what was the stream in particular that you're concerned about?
Guadalupe.
That's the one in this valley.
And its building was flooded for 1 year.
100, maybe 100 yards that way, 300 feet.
Okay.
That way.
Yeah, as Board of Water Supply will tell you shortly, there's so many streams around our island, and DFM is understaffed. Or that is something that the city is working with. Right. But okay, so I'll move on with my report. Sorry that we weren't here in December. Chair was walking the Kamaki Christmas parade. It's good to see a new member. Welcome. Chair Kwame Waters did start off as a neighborhood board member a long time ago. So you really see the importance of neighborhood boards at this meeting. A great board, so welcome. I did email out Chair's newsletter. It can also be found online at the City Council's website. On the first page, we do highlight that Chair Waters did participate in a panel discussion a few weeks ago about an independent film named Reunite Us. It was a documentary following the process of the Council Bill 40, which passed in 2019, does the plastics bill. We're working with the filmmaker to play this film possibly throughout all of our schools, our elementary schools, and also doing public showings possibly at Mission Memorial and other places around. So we'll keep you updated on that. It's a great film. Learning about plastics and also just the legislative process. Also, regarding about the sub-district's vacancies, I'll talk with Chair Waters and also our communications team. Maybe we can make some kind of easy to read graphic with the districts, with the vacancies. We can share it in our newsletter, also our social media, and then we can also distribute it to you guys as well. Share with your community members. Let's see, on the second page, we have our legislative updates for January. We had a very busy council in January. There's a bunch of resolutions and bills that I thought our Chair Waters thought that you might be interested. Please let me know if you have any questions on those. And then let's see. The city did assume ownership of a rundown 3-story Waikiki apartment building with plans to convert it into affordable housing for elderly, this was done through a resolution 21-148, if the acquisition to eminent domain. This building was long vacant for over 2 decades. It was through vandals and squatters. And so the city had took it over. They paid for it through what is called the Affordable Housing Fund. Is sets aside 0.5 of our real property tax, our annual real property tax. And this fund is used for projects like this. So the city administration departments are still working to see if they're gonna refurbish this 3-story apartment building or just knock it down and rebuild another one. Also, the city also has collaborated with the Lions Club to install 20 rescue tubes along the South Shore and Windward Shores. You might have seen these rescue tubes already placed in places like China Walls. They'll also be placed in, let's see, some East Honolulu beaches are Hawaii Kui Beach Park, China Walls, Spinning Caves, the Ka'ibi coastline, so Lanai Lookout, Alona Bloho, Sandy Beach, Baba Malu. We do need to give much of the credit to the Lions Club chapters, Coco Head, Hawaii Kai, Manoa, and Hawaii Cyber. In 2019, Chair Waters met with the Hawaii Kai Lions Club and passed a resolution in support of this endeavor. And then lastly, let's see here, what else we got? We do have a list of some updates of these are just a portion of the CIP projects for DDC. Please take a look at it. This is just a fraction, but you can see, the updates of where they are. So this doesn't include other projects that parts or BTS might have. But it's just a glimpse. This is something that you guys are interested in. We can continue to update it or give the report from other departments as well. And with that, I'm happy to take back any questions, Chair Waters.
Are there any questions for Chair Waters?
But can I say something?
Yes, please go.
So I checked on the website we shared. So it says their work week for Wailuku Stream from February 16th to April 4th.
Last year.
That was last year. That was, yeah. So you're saying that from then, now it's overgrown?
Oh, big time.
Okay.
So this,
And this building flooded on the last severe rain.
But this is a good website. Thank you for this.
And when's it scheduled again?
Yes, and yeah.
so we're overdue by 6 months.
The pictures I took were in April,
Yeah.
and that's when they had finished. And they bring a bulldozer and weed whackers, and they do cut down the trees and stuff, but they come back with vengeance.
Yeah, so we're due. So, whatever, Chair can do to put us back on the schedule. Appreciate it. Yes,
Deputy Director and I will work for it.
okay, Kevin?
I enjoyed seeing Councilman Waters on TV kind of asking the police department for a little more information. I've actually stopped asking the police department for publicly available information because they don't share it. Since 2000, the board has passed several resolutions asking the police department to kind of let us know if they've ever arrested anyone and basically what they're doing. You know, meaning to tell us they've responded to 6,700 service calls. We'd like to know if they've arrested one car thief, or if just as important, if the car thief that was arrested for stealing 20 cars was released back in the community, continue his profession. You know, but that type of information, just like having a person running around the island shooting at people, is nice to have, you know, in a timely manner. And we're all shorthanded. This year, at the opening day of the legislature, I handed out some information on unemployment insurance. It's very difficult for whether it be the state or the private sector to hire people these days. A suggestion I had is one, asking people, and I don't mean to be cold and mean, but people who are getting, I guess, entitlements, like possibly for every $1,000 they receive, that they donate eight hours of their time for community service a month. That equates to about $125 an hour. They entry level jobs for clearing the stream with a weed whacker would be a great way to train people in the landscaping profession. But it would be nice if, you know, people said in a way, thank you to help an understaffed city agency kind of do the job.
Yeah, and that's a great suggestion that could be explored. I do believe we do have our state legislators online.
I handed them out to just about everyone. I got
Perfect.
no responses, except I think from you. You called. I said, wow, that's really nice. Thank you.
And then, yeah, so the council did pass resolution 2412 in January for better transparency of information that can be shared to the media so it can get to the community, while also balancing, you know, sensitive information. I do have a copy of that resolution with me that I can share in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, and I like this spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot in here, and,
Sorry, it is
thank
really
you.
small,
That's
but,
okay.
just-
I can use a magnifying glass when I get home. But, and thank Chair for all that he's doing. That the island really appreciates all of this work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. See you next month.
Yes.
Take care, Adam.
Thank you.
Excellent report. Okay. Is a representative for Senator Stanley Chang with us?
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
Marley Mason. I'm a office intern, so I'll be the representative tonight for Senator Chang.
Hi.
So I just have a couple of updates, and I will post everything for the links in the chat after I'm done talking. So you can
Great.
find the February newsletter on Senator Chang's website. You can also sign up for the housing newsletter if you're interested. And Senator Chang is currently chairing the housing committee and has so far had 4 hearings. So I'll also paste the link to find the list of standing committee hearings, which that take place at the Capitol. And then one update is we're in the thick of the rainy season, and the DCCA Insurance Division would like to remind homeowners to review your flood insurance coverage. Most standard homeowners and renters insurance policies do not cover flood damage. Flood insurance coverages can be purchased separately from the National Flood Insurance Program or endorsed onto the policy to supplement a policyholder's homeowner's insurance. Consumers interested in NFIP need to keep in mind that there's a 30-day waiting period. To learn more, I'll paste the link in the chat, but it's floodsmart.gov, or talk with your insurance agent to help you shop and compare. The Hawaii Insurance Division annually publishes its premium comparison guides, which is available at tca.hawaii.gov/ins/resources. And then I have last update is that capital improvement funding is secured for 2 facilities in the East Oahu region. Leahai Hospital will receive $10,100 to upgrade their ACs, and the Diamond Head State Monument Park will receive $2 million for rockfall and flood mitigation. And here are all the links. And if you have any questions, I can jot them down and take them back to Senator.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Senator Chang and for Marley? Okay, we don't have any questions for you this time, but if you come next month, we will make a list for you. Now, thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to maybe someday seeing you in person at one of our meetings here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have Representative Mark Hashem with us tonight. Good evening, Representative Hashem.
Evening, aloha everybody. As you all know, session just started on January 17th. And the big thing, of course, the big thing for this session is Maui. Maui is consuming everything, even the budget. So the governor, the big thing about the budget is the governor, last we put away $600 million in cash for capital improvement projects for the state. So the governor came in and swooped that cash and changed it with bond funding. So the sad about this is there's not that much money for capital improvement projects this year. Not that I object to it, because Maui needs the cash. We need to put our share of the federal match from FEMA. So we need to front the money. And that's much needed. But then the flip side to that is it's very difficult to get funding for other projects this year. With that, I'm the chair of public safety once again. So everything that I'm dealing with now is mainly with prisons. So if you have prisons and jail questions, feel free to ask me. I can tell you what's in the forefront, and I'm open to questions.
I have a question.
We have a question. There's a question from Kalani Sonoda Pale.
Yes.
I just have a question. So I know that there was reports a couple months ago about Palava Prison. The inmates were complaining that the water was not drinkable. So I was wondering if that's still an issue at Palava Prison. Medium security.
I'm not sure about that. Let me go follow up. I should know about that.
Thank you. That's all.
Any other questions for Representative Hashem?
Yes,
Yes, please state your name.
my name is William Comerford.
William Comerford. Please go ahead.
Bill, yes.
I'm dying of how would I say, blood pressure as a result of the state, the taxes that they're doing. As you know, I had 4 bars in a management company back in March of 2020. State closed us due to the shutdown from COVID. They put me out of business. I had $6.5 million in business that I had no income for 15 months. I finally got $3.1 million in federal money from the restaurant relief fund to come back in rate. That was I used that money to open 2 bars. I had 4. I lost 2 of them outright.
tried to operate the bars, and for 2 years, I lost $750,000, $450,000. Had to use the money within 2 years. The money is gone. Now the state is taxing me GET tax on that $3.1 million to the tune of $160,000. They're also taxing me on income. When does it ever end? This state is brutal. They never talked to us. They ignored us to death during the COVID. And now they're trying to take my whatever money I might have left to try to retire on. I'm 71 years old, and my blood pressure this morning was 230 over 120. Been like that for 2 weeks, ever since this audit started. The state is a horrible place. I love everybody here. I love the state. I've done wonderful things for the whole time, for 40 years here. But you guys want everything. Why? I've had no answer from your office. I've had no answer from anybody in the legislature. I had no answers during COVID. I have no answers now. Do you think it's fair? Everybody I tell the story to says they can't do that. And you are. The state of Hawaii. Tax heaven. I'm sorry, I just have to state that. Would you like to talk to me sometime? Is there anybody out there trying to resolve this? Just the GET is $160,000. The money that's gone. I've been here for 40 years. Ran businesses for 40 years. I was ignored during COVID, and I'm going to be leaving this state. Gladly, because I can't pay any more taxes. Sorry to say that. That's all I have to say.
So, Representative Hashem, what do you recommend in terms of following up on his concern?
Well, to be honest, I don't know because I'm not a tax expert, and I don't know how to speak to that. But I can, yeah, I don't know how to address that. I mean, we could try and change the tax code, but I'm sorry, I don't know how to address that.
Let's go this route. Why is there not a motion to try to forgive this? Because you know what? There's only 2 states that are taxing that federal income, California and Hawaii. And nobody is taxing it as GDP or as a transaction except Hawaii. Every other state in the union said it's federal relief money. Hawaii says it's federal money, it should come to us. Very sad. But you're truly killing me.
Representative Hashem, who could he speak with who is knowledgeable about tax relief in a situation like his?
Well, of course, I would direct it to the tax director. And I would need to look into that and to see what can be done. I don't know. I'm not a tax expert. I would recommend to talk to a CPA to get that addressed. If we need to change the tax code, we can try and do that. And that's a longer discussion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But nobody talked to me before this session. Nobody in government has ever helped. Truly. Not the state level, not the city county level. And to go to federal level to get help. From the SBA and from Representative Pace. That's how I got the federal money to try to come back.
Oh, sir, if you can, Representative Hashem, please get back to us and we can pass the information on to him if you can, if there is help that you can offer for him.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We need to go on. Our next report is Hawaii Department of Transportation, Casey Abe. Hi, Casey.
Hi, good evening, Chair. Let me share my screen here. Okay. You can see my screen. Can you see my screen, Chair? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, Chair Burkett, members of the Kuli'ou'ou Kalani Iki Neighborhood Board, Casey Albert from the State DOT Highways Division. The state red light pilot program is scheduled to end in December of 2024, and upon completion, the program will become permanent. Therefore, all counties can establish their own red light program starting in January 2025. So if the neighborhood boards want to install permanent red light cameras at intersections on county roadways, you can start reaching out to your elected county officials or mayor's representatives. During the 2-year pilot program, it cost the state approximately $92,000 per month for the 10 intersections, plus the cost for the police department to review each infraction and the cost of the state AG office to defend the program if the violator contested in court. As for the income from the fines, we collected less than 92,000 during the first year of the 2-year pilot program. The Highways Division will not be installing this red light camera system along Kalani Highway from Ainakoa Avenue to Hawaii Kai Drive because we'll be installing a new adaptive traffic signal controllers where signal timing can be changed based on the traffic demand. Signalized intersections with these new adaptive traffic signal controllers cannot have a red light system installed. I will provide an update at future meetings on when we will be installing these new adaptive traffic signal controllers along Kalani Highway. The red light cameras can also detect speed of the vehicles passing through the intersection. So people have been requesting if these cameras can be installed to issue speeding tickets. House Bill 2267 relating to highway safety has been introduced by Representative Linda Ichiyama, where the state or any county can establish an automated speed enforcement program to enforce the speed restriction laws on state and county roads. We support this bill because speeding has always been one of the top contributing factors in motor vehicle fatalities for the past decade. If board members are concerned about speeding within their neighborhood, they can contact the elected officials and express their support for the bill or suggest changes to the bill. From our understanding, the biggest challenge is setting the speed threshold on when a ticket will be issued and how much the fine will be. Will the threshold be 1 mile, 5 miles, or 10 miles where the vehicle traveling over the posted speed limit before the system issues a citation? Should the fines be higher for a vehicle speeding 20 miles over the speed limit than a vehicle speeding 10 miles above the speed limit? These are some of the concerns that we have to be clarified in this bill. At one of your neighborhood board meetings after the 2023 legislative session, the governor's representative, Dave Day, mentioned about Senate Bill 588 related to excessive noise that Governor Green signed into law. The bill requires the state DOT to develop and implement a pilot program to use noise detection traffic cameras to address excessive traffic noise in urban areas having a population greater than 500,000 people. We are currently working with other government agencies like the State Department of Health on establishing the fines for violators and the noise threshold that will trigger the cameras to videotape and record the vehicles emitting the excessive noise, which be used as evidence for issuing the citation. I will report back at future board meetings on the progress of our pilot program. And finally, although this project is not in the Kuli'ou'ou Kalani Iki Neighborhood Board jurisdiction, I'd like to inform the board about this new 2-year-long project because it may affect your travel time while driving at night into Honolulu from the west side. In the December 28th Star Advertiser, our contractor, Hawaiian Dredging Construction Company, placed this notice to motorists ad about night work starting on January 2nd and continuing until December 2025 for our $100 million H1 freeway eastbound improvement project from Ola Lane Overpass to the Likelike Highway off-ramp. The newspaper notice had an error on the working hours for Sunday through Thursday. For our December 29th news release, the working hour is from 8 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. and on Fridays and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. 2 lanes will be closed each night. I will place the project website and our weekly road work and lane closure links in the chat. The scope of work is to enhance the safety and alleviate congestion at the Moanalua and H1 merge by widening the Makai side of the freeway to eliminate the center lane merge starting from the Ola Lane overpass. This is a picture of the existing Ola Lane overpass where the merge starts. Picture taken from the Ola Lane overpass where construction has started. Currently, there are 4 existing through lanes. The project will add another lane that will be a dedicated lane to the Likelike Highway off-ramp while maintaining the 4 existing through lanes. Where sufficient space is available, a 4-foot median shoulder and right shoulder that varies between 2 to 8 feet wide will be provided. This is a picture showing the existing shoulder that will be widened to add the dedicated lane to the Likelike Highway off-ramp. The engineering and construction challenge will be at the Gulick Avenue overpass, where the overpass will be lengthened so 5 lanes can fit under the overpass. Besides lengthening the bridge, the clearance height of the overpass will be increased. In the past, we had incidents where large trucks hit the bottom of the bridge, requiring the DOT to temporarily shut down the freeway. To reconstruct the Gulick Avenue overpass, the proposed plan is the existing bridge will be completely removed for approximately 6 months and replaced with a temporary bridge for bikes and pedestrian use only. During the removal of the existing bridge and the installation of the temporary bike and pedestrian bridge, the H1 freeway will be completely closed in both directions overnight. Once the dates for the full closures are set, HDOT will notify the public. This picture shows the existing approach to the Likelike Highway off-ramp, where the shoulder area will be widened. And this picture shows the Likelike Highway off-ramp, where the project will end. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Casey. Are there any questions related to this project or any others that are transportation related?
No, Sherry.
Sherry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have a question from Sherry Spangler.
Yeah. I was going to ask Casey if he can supply us with these House bill and the Senate bill that he was talking about. Do you put it in chat or how does that work?
Sure, I can put it in
email?
the chat.
Or in the email or whatever. How's the easiest? Email?
Email.
Okay, I can email it to
Clarence.
I mean, I can download it. Again, it's just a draft right now. I mean, it's in legislation.
I'd like to read it. I'd like to read both of them. It was very interesting.
Can you email them to Zoidel, please?
Okay. I just need to get the email of the neighborhood board assistant, and I'll just email it to him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Stephanie has a question.
Yes, this is Stephanie Spangler. Casey, that was a lovely presentation, very well spoken. I'd like to know, since we sit on the Kalani Aniole Highway corridor, what is the intent for state DOT with our highway? With the noise, with the speeding? If we're not going to ever be involved in any of these new mitigation measures, I would like to know what is actively being pursued for us.
Well, first of all, we want to install the adaptive traffic signal controllers so we can quickly change the signal timing so we can move as much traffic as possible through the Kalani Ole corridor during peak times and non-peak times. And once that's done, that'll be great. Then once our pilot project for the noise mitigation program is done, then we can bring back to you folks and see how we can install these new systems in the Kalani area. Also with the speeding, when we can resolve the concerns of this new speeding bill. Again, I'm not sure if they're going to put it into a law or they're going to ask the DOT to do a pilot project, but once we can resolve the concern about what's the threshold of the speeding where these automatic cameras will issue the tickets and how much, I'm pretty sure we'll be reaching out to all the neighborhood boards and communities of where they would like to install these speed cameras. That's similar to the red light, where they'll be taking pictures and recording the speeds. Same with the excessive noise. They will be taking videos and recording the noise volumes. So we ask for your patience, and we hope that we can address your concerns in the near future.
Madam Chair, if I might rebut that
Question.
or continue with another question.
Janine.
Can Janine please ask a question? We have a presentation that's overdue that we need to get started with on the East Honolulu Watershed Management Plan. So I ask if you can please make your question simple and give Janine a chance to ask a question.
Thank
Chair.
you.
I just wanted to see the, what was the date that the highway is going to be closed? I didn't get that.
For the highways, the H1 freeway being closed, we'll let you know, because right now, as you can see from the picture, they're just starting construction. We will let the public know when they're gonna shut down the freeway overnight when they try to remove the Gulick Avenue overpass. So we'll let you know. Right now, it's in the preliminary stages right now.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Clarissa, if I may, this is Stephanie Spangler again. I just want to go on record with Casey and State DOT that I recognize now that there is no concern for the speeding on Kalani Onili Highway. There's no concern for the safety of the people. It's just speeding the traffic through the highway to downtown. And I'm really shocked that there are mitigation measures going on all around the island on every highway to stop the speeding, but not on our highway.
No. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned in a previous meeting that there are immediate, kind of like temporary, short-term mitigations where you can install speed humps or raise crosswalks at sections. So
I have not heard anything that State DOT is trying to do to stop the speeding. We have all of these suggestions. We're talking about years down the road for all of these little adaptive measures and what have you, but I see nobody actively pursuing stopping the speeding on the highway, and more accidents are occurring. Thank you.
Again. Yeah.
Okay, Casey, thank you very much. Can you we have a quick question from Bill.
That was great, but a few policemen with radar guns would really rectify the situation much better. That's all I got.
Yes, Adam?
Sure. As you know, it's a state highway, but our office can request speed enforcement, and at the next meeting, we'll report how many citations and warning breaks.
Okay, so Jerry, that was Adam Dew from Council Chair Tommy Waters. They are also going to look into helping us out with the speeding issue.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay. Thanks again, Casey. I would like to welcome Abby Seitz to talk to us, to give us the final draft review on the East Honolulu Watershed Management Plan. And thank you for your patience.
Yes, of course. Going to, is it okay if I sit?
Yeah, of course.
And I'll share my screen, so the presentation. On the computer. Right, wonderful. So aloha again. My name is Abby Seitz, and I'm with the consultant team who is developing the East Honolulu Watershed Management Plan. I'm joined here tonight by Pedro Istagawa with the Board of Water Supply. So I know that we have, somewhat of a tight agenda. So we'll make this brief, but we want to focus tonight just giving you folks a little bit of background on the plan and the process that was used to develop it, as well as the community involvement that came throughout that process. And then we'll turn to just kind of reviewing what is in the most recent draft of the plan, as well as our adoption. So for folks who are not as aware of this plan, it is one of 8 district level watershed plans that together make up the Oahu watershed management. So all of these watershed plans have the same shared goal, and that is to provide policies, programs, and strategies that essentially basically provide a balance between restoring and preserving Oahu's watersheds, as well as providing sustainable groundwater for both present and future generations. And within that goal, there's a few different objectives that include promoting sustainable watersheds, protecting our water quality, protecting native Hawaiian and customary rights, facilitating education and participation in watershed projects, as well as meeting water demand at a reasonable cost for our residents. So this process to develop this plan was done in essentially 5 kind of key activities, which started off with essentially just researching and identifying the most important water resource issues to this area. That helped us to develop a analysis around how much water this district currently uses and how much water the district will likely to be using in 2040 and even looking as far as 2100. And so both of those understanding of the water resource issues, as well as how much water is being used, informed us around policies and projects, help guide development and water usage over the next 20 years. And then once we had all that information, we do a draft of the watershed management plan, which will be shared tonight. And through each step in this process, so just to share quickly, this process actually started in early 2019 with the research and activities kind of taking up the majority of the first 2 years. Then kind of the COVID years being the focus of coming up with the projects and strategies and implementation plan. And really the last year dedicated to developing and circulating a review for agencies to review, and then the public, and now just at the very beginning of this year, we released the final draft of the watershed plan. And we are hoping that it will be adopted and finalized by June. So briefly, we had community involvement throughout this process, and that was done through kind of 3 main activities, the part of which we held 26 one-on-one stakeholder consultations with community organizations, many of them listed here, as well as state agencies. We had 10 different presentations to districts, 3 different neighborhood boards, as well as I mentioned, those board. We had kind of a range of participation at the different meetings, from 20 attendees to all the way up to 190. We had quite a few. Again, during COVID, we had series in that third meeting, which allowed for greater participation. But we really found that, obviously it's a very engaged community, and a lot of folks really care about particular issues involved on the day. So in addition to these community meetings, we also held just a smaller group of meetings with the watershed GUI, as well as farmers in the area. So lastly, I wanted just to touch on, what is in the plan. So this, as I mentioned before, we have 5 different components of this plan that basically reflect those different components of the planning process. So the watershed profile, which includes key water resource issues, an assessment of the current water demand and supply, and then kind of the bulk of the plan is around the policy, projects, and strategies that will guide the next 20 years. And then the last chapter is how these strategies, policies and strategies will be progressed. So as I mentioned, the end of last year, we had released a public review draft and we had engaged community to get feedback on that draft, the various forms, to announcements to the neighborhood boards, posting of the plan online and on social media, email blasts, transmitting, also sharing with the county and state agencies, and then holding again online, which resulted in a public comment period of 2 months. So we had, I believe, 43 different comments that were received for the public review draft, just mainly around, updating with new data, including additional new community projects, more specificity with certain place names, and additional information for certain projects. So lastly, I'll share that for, as I mentioned, this first half of the year will be dedicated to our adoption process. So we released the final draft of the plan in early January. We're now in the process of, coming to the neighborhood boards and requesting endorsements. During this time, we'll also be, BVP will be submitting the plan essentially for a draft bill to the city council. And then we're hoping to start readings at the city council in around March time. And between the first and second reading, there'll be a public hearing that will be put on by the Commission on Water Resource Management. And so we've got a time, there's still some opportunities for the city forms. But then again, we're hoping to have, published by. So we'd like to end to mahalo your neighborhood board for your support throughout this process. We know it's been a few years in the making now, and as my colleague Barry as well, if you have folks around questions, but we are again requesting an endorsement from the neighborhood board on this plan. It would be great. Appreciated as we move forward with the adoption process. Go to the council. Like to now just offer for any questions or thoughts that you may have.
Yes, go ahead, Leah. So 3 questions. One, how do I get like a printed copy of it for you guys? You guys don't have copies on,
We don't have any printed on us now. We did send the digital, but that should be,
It's on our website, so you can download the PDF or view it there.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
It's for
pictures.
It's on Google Drive. Yeah. I don't have like hard copies you're giving out to Bill. I think that's where like, that's my first issue too. Now, right? Are they able to review it? Because not everybody has a computer. Second of all, I want to ask, is there still opportunity to make changes? Like, so she was talking about like the process. So will there, like, are you guys like expecting changes going forward? I was just wondering. And then the third part is, my third question is there a map we can see of this side of what is incorporated? Like, we can see better. The one online is blurry. I can't see the street signs. I can't see the street names.
Yeah, are you asking just for like a map of the project area?
Yeah, because I wanted to see if our area, we had requested that our area be included. And I don't know if it is. I just was wondering.
Yeah, we can follow up. We have lots of.
You don't have it now, like I can. I mean, it's in this district.
Yeah, I can,
Guadalupe, I was wondering if you could just kind of blow up Guadalupe.
Um, yeah, I don't have.
Because you're trying to change the district boundaries, that way.
No, I wanted it included in those, management area,
What part of?
And when you're talking about Wailuchi, like Aina area, so you'd like kind of maybe show the map of the Aina?
yeah, around that area.
And then they can do that, kind of zoom in
Okay, do that.
on where we are right now.
Yeah,
That
we
was my
can do
question beginning, and I was told to wait for you to come on, so I was told that you would address that, because.
Yeah, I can bring up a project map. Guadalupe is fully within the,
Yeah, can I see?
I'll just, stop.
We have a number of maps in there, land use, water system. All that, by watershed, so there's a lot of different maps in there. The question about the comments, we just finished the public review draft. We got 40-something comments, so we ended it, but,
I was just wondering, like, in going forward, are you guys expecting to make changes, like tweaking it as you're going, like, to C1 and?
we try not to, although when you go through the public hearing process of the council and the commission, if there's substantive comments, then, yeah, we'll make changes.
You guys will be changing.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's clarifying what we have in there.
No.
And, because this plan is required by city ordinance as well as state statute. So when the council adopts it, they'll adopt it as part of the ordinance. Chapter 30, revised ordinance of one of them. And then in the state would be part of the Hawaii Water Plan, chapter 174C, state statute. So once it's adopted by ordinance, we're not gonna change it, but we do it every 5 to 10 years. It's supposed to be in tandem with the land use plan.
Right.
East Honolulu Sustainability Plan. But this is like a sister plan of the land use and the water plan that you come together.
No, it looks good. I'm just wondering if it's going to have changes in the process, as you're saying it has to go through a finalization process. So like, that was my only concern. And yeah, can we just look at the map? I wanna just, can you go
Yeah,
full?
I just brought up a map of our catalyst watersheds, so just essentially kind of where the majority of the watershed projects are focused in the plan. So obviously it's the purple line here is the Honolulu piece. The red line is kind of the priority watersheds that the plan focuses on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, there we go.
That was wrong.
So, yeah, we include, all essentially, the district covers the different, watersheds. Starting with the campus watershed.
Looks like it's included, but I'm not too sure.
So, yeah, it includes the entire watershed across the side.
Because it wasn't included in the draft. That's my question. Because I wanted to know if it was included after. So this is the final.
It is the.
I can't really see, that's why. I can't, if I see the street name, I would be able to tell.
It's in Haina Valley, Haina.
It's in Wailupe.
By.
You know where Haina Elementary is, right here. So it's like that.
Oh, yeah.
That ridge.
It's definitely, yeah, the left, the boundary on the left is kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, because it was kind of cut off, like right above the burial ground. So I was wondering if it's going to now include the burial ground. It is, yeah. But does it look like it is? Okay. Okay, great. So that's all my question was, and then I would like a printed copy. If that's possible, that would just help me someone who, Malamazaina around here.
Yeah, we can talk with the consultant team, I know for trying done some printing or something like public libraries.
Yeah.
So,
It would be, could make sense.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Then we can make copies or something.
I can open from that opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's like more accessible.
Yeah, make them accessible.
You have a question from Tim Stan?
Yeah, I don't mean to offend, but Carol and I have obviously been educationalists for 40, 50 years. Would you be offended? We would love to donate to you an excellent brand new. Would that help? Seriously, plus a printer cable.
Well, does it come with cartridges? Because the cartridges are more expensive than a printer.
The Epson has the liquid. You
Oh, yeah?
see Jack O'Neill and all, but seriously, I don't want to offend, but it would
That's
help.
so sweet of you. Thank you.
I've never been called sweet before, but if that's the help, and we can communicate with phone numbers, we would,
Yeah, that would be great.
we'd love to do that.
You want to give me something too?
Well, Abby and Barry, thank you very much for coming here tonight. We really appreciate you telling us about the, giving us the opportunity to look again at the plan. And, it is very long. I know, I tried, but,
Is there like a
it's
section,
very
just
detailed.
maybe like you can just put the section, like for East Honolulu, you can have that available at the library or something. Or you know what I mean, like you just give out sections. Because you don't want to get the whole, the whole plan to for the whole island. We only care about really this side.
I don't go into the library that often, but that the computers in the library, are you able to print what you pull up?
Yeah,
on the
I haven't been
computer
to the library.
Well, it sounds like you were going to get your. So,
Well, it's not just about me. I'm thinking about Kupuna who don't have access to computer, and I mean, how are they going to know what's happening? That's my.
Okay, did you want to say something in closing?
No, I think it's
We asking for your support on the plan that we spent the last 5 years building. It would help, it would help us get it through council.
Okay.
And we've, we did Waianae, North Shore, Kuli'ou'ou, and the neighborhood boards, they're all supported it, either through a vote, through the minutes, implementation of that, or a support letter, any way you would like. It would just kind of close the loop.
We have a quorum. We have enough members here to vote, so.
Can we have some time, like, can we vote on it next month, so you have time to look at it?
After you review the 400 pages?
Yeah,
Is there a chapter just on East Honolulu we can just look at?
When do you
So the
need it
plan
by?
is done specific to East Honolulu.
Oh, it's just specific.
One guy asked the same thing on Tuesday.
Yeah.
For us?
So we're gonna go back next in February, where they would vote on it.
Okay.
We can come and do the same here, another 30 days. Yeah.
Yes, so our next meeting is March 7th. Would that be okay? Give us
They
a
just
little
put
more
it
time.
there. But yeah, we waited 5 years, so it's another 30 days.
All right, thank you very much.
So yeah, that would be fine.
Okay. All right, so, in closing, that our next meeting will be March 7th and, here. And want to, say mahalo to everyone who's here tonight and has contributed to, the meeting and understanding the concerns in our community. And we'll try to give people follow-up on what questions they asked. Probably at the next meeting, if not earlier. Anyone who didn't sign in, please sign in so that we can get back to you had a question.
I support it, by the way.
Wonderful, yeah, no, thanks for your question. I definitely agree, yeah. I also never, or else I would have brought it.
Sure.
Clarissa, oh,
The meeting of the Kuli'ou'ou Kalani Neighborhood Board is,
You got
now at an end.
question.
Oh, I'm
Sherry.
sorry. Okay, I did. Sherry?
no, it's
Yeah.
Stephanie Spangler. I just noticed I'm never listed on any of the minutes for being present. Could I be added to the list of guests from now on?
Of course.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Aloha.
You're
Good night.
welcome. All right, good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
There we go. Good night. Night, John. Night, Chris. Night, Casey. Night, Marley. I know, it's like she's just using her, I mean, using her computer. And Stephanie.